Welcome to segment 3 in the It's Not BS series for young souls. It's not BS, and it is not. What we are sharing is not BS. But there are many who feel that it cannot be the truth of things, if you will. How can love for oneself be the answer to all mishaps, all misunderstandings, all war upon the planet? How can it be that simple? So this segment, we want to speak about love for oneself. The previous segment, we spoke about emotions, and we will continue with that. But segment 3, we want to speak about love for oneself. And so many feel the opposite to loving oneself. They don't love themselves. It's hard to love others. It's hard to feel love in the upset of life, if you will. So how does one become in the space to feel love for oneself, to feel worthy when one perhaps is feeling unworthy, to feel extraordinary when one perhaps is feeling less than? How does one find love for oneself? Because truly it is the answer to all experiences. Loving oneself is so powerful. And we don't mean loving oneself in a very ego perspective. We mean loving oneself in the sense of knowing of compassion, kindness, forgiveness. Now, bear with us, because we know that when one is feeling uncertain and unworthy, not caring, couldn't care less about any one thing, it is difficult to bring forth love for oneself. So we're going to ask a question that perhaps it's thought of and not thought of. Again, Tracy is the medium in which collective consciousness flows through. Think of collective consciousness as many angels, and that is true. Source energy. So Tracy has, we want to say, the miraculous gifts of mediumship. She is moved aside to allow words, and she says it's like having a conversation from the heavens above, to allow space for us to share. And it is us. There are many that are speaking at once. How does it work? Truly fascinating. That's why it is a miracle. Tracy still says, how do you move my hands? How do I know what to say? How do I make those facial expressions? So in Tracy's world, it is a miracle, and all she wants to do is share. And the sharing is a space to allow you to feel better than perhaps you are feeling. And there are some walking the planet feeling so awful about everything. And it is so understood that when ones get to that place, it is so difficult, heavy, burdened. And we want to share how one can shift even just a little bit to provide relief for oneself. So love for oneself is the foundation to create the space of relief. And it does sound like BS. It sounds like BS because if you are feeling beaten, it is very difficult to find the space to love oneself or to love any one thing. So the question we would ask right from the heavens above, where do you think you were before arriving to Mother Earth? And we are not here to change any beliefs, not at all. We are just asking the question. You have your own answer to the question. There is not an answer. It is your own answer. Where do you think you were before arriving to Mother Earth? Many ponder where they will be after departing Mother Earth. After departing from physical form, transitioning into the heavens, let's just be general. Most agree that ones become divine eternal light. Most would agree. Again, not here to change any beliefs or perceptions. But then we will ask, if most agree that one's transition into the grandest form of light and love, divine light, where were you before arriving? And would it make sense that you came to Mother Earth holding the grandest sense of love and light and forgiveness and compassion and kindness? Do you think the heavens quarrel? It is a space that is only love. It is a space that is only forgiveness, a space where there is no judgment or condemnation. It would be absurd if one thought that heaven would be very similar to living upon earth. Yeah? So if you arrive to Mother Earth, let us just say, whether you believe it or not, perhaps you'll say this is BS. But let us say you arrive to Mother Earth holding the greatest sense of love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, and joy. That is your divine eternal light. Deep within your inner essence of who you are is who you are, your authentic self. It is where that love, the light, compassion, and kindness all are held within. Think of you within you. Just think of that. You within you. You came to Mother Earth for the grandest reasons and the grandest purpose. But hard to believe if you have had experience that has caused great upset, or many experiences that have caused you to feel just awful. And there are different levels to feeling awful. You can feel awful, or you can feel so beaten that it is difficult to even want to see the day. So many ranges, just like happiness. You can be happy, you can be happy, you can be elated, joyous, different levels. You can be angry, or you could find a space of rage, different levels. So just walk with us here, because we are sharing again from the top of the Ferris wheel looking out. You have come to Mother Earth holding the grandest sense of love. And it doesn't take long for others to share input, whether it's teaching, whether it is conversation that is being had, whether it is surroundings, the school one goes to, who one goes to school with, the community, the social aspect around the community. It all sculpts individuals, yeah? Different families feel very differently about different things. So you may have a family that is very focused on high achieving, best in school, best grades, best athlete, etc., etc. And you may have a family who, well, they don't pay much attention. So they're not really expecting much out of school, that they're ones that their children do well in school. They're just not. They're just going along with life because they themselves feel a little beaten by life. Again, not a condemning, an understanding. So as you move along, as you grow, we don't want to bore you, But life experience covers, just think of it this way, covers the light that is naturally who you are. Love is who you are, but hard to believe if you do not feel very loving. Hard to believe if you have found a space not to love yourself. Truly, there is no harsh judgment and condemnation in the heavens, in light. This is who you are. But along the journey of life, there is a space that can be created to find harsh judgment upon oneself, condemnation upon oneself, feeling unworthy, brought on by oneself because of life experiences. Everything that you have experienced, you have attached an emotion to it. Isn't it fascinating that someone can be the receiver of something really unkind, and it hurts their heart deeply, and it sits in their being, and it truly is emotional, and it becomes very painful. Another may receive the same words, and it's almost like it bounces off. They don't care. Ugh, go away. Who are you to speak to me like that? And they don't absorb it. That does happen. They just do not absorb it. They choose not to absorb it. And again, if you have chosen to feel if you are in the space of feeling awful, it doesn't feel like a choice. But if you are there, we want to share with you that your inner essence of all that you are is still within you to experience and to bring forth over the layers that have allowed you to feel the way you feel. Now again, some may say, this is BS. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? A conversation from the heavens? Are you kidding me? You're going to tell me that I am worthy of all things good? You're going to tell me that I'm here for great reason and grand purpose? Why am I living the way I live? Why is every day a struggle? Why have I found a place to do things perhaps I don't even wish to do? And you think I'm here for grand reason? This is BS. And we want to share with you, you are here for the grandest of reasons and the greatest of purposes. Because you hold divine love and light. You hold grace, you hold forgiveness, you hold compassion and kindness. And what if you found it and brought it forth to give to yourself, not just to give to others, but to give to yourself. Love for oneself. That means being compassionate to oneself, even if you do not feel very good. When you do not feel very good, finding compassion towards it is the best thing you can do, even if it's a little bit of compassion. If you could place some kindness upon yourself and remove being beaten, that feeling of beating upon oneself, if you could place that down, you would be removing the layers that covers your authentic self. What is your authentic self? Love. Love is who you are, whether you believe it or not. Love is the answer to all things, whether that seems absolutely out of reach or not. But you are walking upon Mother Earth with many experiences, many things in one day. And now with social media, and we'll just say the internet, not a condemning of internet, not at all. We could not share this message without it. But there is so much information. It is difficult to feel any one thing. or to even think about feeling love for oneself. It is so natural not to go in search for the grandest part of you, because it doesn't feel natural that it is there. There it is, meaning your inner essence. You looking after you. Think about your intuition. And you know that there are times where you feel, oh, I shouldn't do that. And you have that feeling, no, I shouldn't do that. And you do it anyway. And then time goes on and you go, oh, I shouldn't have done that. What a mess. I knew not to do it. My gut told me not to do it. I knew not to do it, and I did it anyway. What a mess. Where does that come from? That's your intuition, your inner essence of all that you are. Love for oneself. Guiding you. Guiding you. Where does it come from? Would it make sense that you arrived with it? Would it make sense it is part of who you are? Would it make sense that this part of who you are, the inner essence of all that is good, only wants the best for you? Ah, really good. We will conclude and we will continue again. We are wanting these segments to be short. There is great love for you.